I was going to say, Patriots-Chiefs, I got no argument, except with the AB stuff. If someone wanted to flip-flop them, like I saw in the AFC Championship game last year, if not for a pre-snap penalty, the Chiefs beat them.
Can't see Chiefs
like that,
is garbage.
Those two, 1 and 2. However, Eagles, Cowboys, Saints, by the same logic that you have the Cowboys there, couldn't you put Baltimore there?
Yeah.
Baltimore whooped up on a bad team, but Lamar Jackson, and who do I always quote the analytics, Stephen A?
Yeah. Yes.
Warren Sharp. The greatest, he claims, and he backs it up, the greatest age 21 passer in the history of the NFL. Passer!
Right.
Lamar Jackson! Compare apples to apples. Compare it to people his own age.
Max, newsflash, there's a debate as to whether or not the Miami Dolphins are even
an NFL team.
But hold on. I mean, that's our issue right now. We don't even know.
Same thing with the Giants.
Excuse me, I'm so disappointed
The
in you.
Dolphins are better than the Giants.
This is a week-to-week list. Yes. We've listened to this guy and everyone all summer be so hyped up about the Browns.
I was about to bring it up.
Go on the road and smash them.
Don't the Titans?
No, they don't.
Molly, yes. I'm consistent. I never thought much of the Browns. So I'm not making a big deal of the Titans.
I got one more for you.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Go ahead, Ryan. You can finish your...
I mean, if the Saints are on the list, I understand some people might have them higher than 5. The Texans lost on the road by the skin of their teeth on a 58-yard field goal. I know they're 0-1, but the Texans, to me, have an argument for a top 5 team right now.
Yeah, but they lost, so that's...
Right now, the Texans are a top 10 team to me because of what we think about the Saints and the fact that they had that team beat with 37 seconds left, and the guy that cost them that game, he's sitting at home today. They released him because he didn't do what he needed to do to stop that last drive. I like the Cowboys there. The Cowboys are 5 to me just because coming into the season, I didn't have them ranked as high as the Saints, and they beat a team in the New York Giants that right now defensively just isn't competent. It's a team that they don't play right technique-wise. They aren't physical, and the hustle to me seemed to lack as the game went on. The Eagles are there not because I felt like their game was so great against Washington. It's what I saw in the second half. This team starts out slow.
They explode.
Your quarterback hasn't played in the playoffs.
They're knockout punches.
He was injured, and he starts to get it going, and they seem unstoppable. And obviously, the top 2, Stephen, I can't argue with you at all. Those 2 offenses and what we saw from them this week. It's only 1 week.
My list is pretty tight.
They went on the road.
I'm a huge Rams fan. Obviously, what scares me about them is when the most important player on your team is the backup running back. Right? We saw it with C.J. Anderson. Now you see it with Brown early on in this season. Todd Gurley can still do things when he gets the rock. He went for 98 on 13, 14 carries. But he needs to be a 20-carry, 25-touch guy. And if he can't, this team can't be what they were last year.
I'm uncertain about the LA Rams because of Gurley's health, and that brings into question Jared Goff, because Jared Goff, particularly with the contract that he just signed and the way that he can fling that football, should be big time enough to offset the compromised Todd Gurley, and none of us are sure he can do that yet.
Early on, when I see a team like the reason I have the Texans, arguably, I agree, top 10, probably not top 5, over the Panthers, let's say, is the Texans went on the road to barely lose by the skin of their teeth with a lot of unfortunate things happening, including a 58-yard field goal against them, to barely lose. The Panthers lost by a field goal to the Rams, but
I have a question off of that for you. This is off the subject. You and I had the debate about Deshaun Watson, and I said I thought he was a top 10 quarterback. Seeing what you saw from him in prime time, do you believe this guy belongs in that conversation?
I do. I think that, in fact, we argued the other day, I think by the end of this year, come these upcoming playoffs, if you just isolated quarterback play, you may even prefer him to Drew Brees.
And I think that's what moves the Texans into the top 5.
I agree. Watson's special. I agree with you.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.